The bed felt colder without Tolu sleeping beside him. For weeks, he barely spoke to anyone. He woke up, drove his Uber, came back home, and stared at the ceiling until sleep took him. The neighborhood gossip was brutal. "See am, na honesty put am for where he day. Him wife leave am, him friends no day near am again. And him still day drive that yai car." Even Kola and Laddie, his so-called friends, stopped mocking him. They had nothing left to say. But Adi kept moving. Deep inside, something told him that his story wasn't over. And he was right, because fate had one last test for him. It started on a quiet Monday morning. Adi had just logged into his Uber app when a request popped up. Murtala Muhammad Airport to Banana Island. The fare was high. "Finally, good business," he muttered, starting his car. When he arrived at the airport, he saw a tall, dark-skinned man in his late 50s. The man wore a crisp white kaftan and expensive leather sandals. His gold wristwatch gleamed under the Lagos sun. Beside him were 2 large travel bags. Adi quickly stepped out and helped put the bags in the trunk. The man slid into the back seat, removed his dark sunglasses, and let out a tired sigh. "Good afternoon, sir," Adi greeted. The man barely looked up. "Just take me to Banana Island." Adi nodded. "Yes, sir." He started the car and drove out of the airport. From the airport, they went straight to Banana Island. Then the man changed his mind. "Take me to Eco Hotel," he ordered. Then from Eco Hotel, he said, "Drive me to Ikeja." Then from Ikeja, "Let's go to Lekki Phase 1. For 3 days, Adi drove him all over Lagos. No complaints, no questions. The man barely spoke. He was always on the phone, making serious business calls. From the way he talked, Adi could tell he was extremely rich. He didn't tip, but he paid every fare without hesitation. On the 4th day, as Adi dropped him back at the airport, something unusual happened. The man looked up and said, "You're a good driver. Professional. You don't talk too much." Adi smiled a little. "Thank you, sir." The man gave a small nod, opened the door, and stepped out. Adi sighed in relief. The trip was over. Also, he thought. Adi was just about to drive off when he noticed something on the back seat. A brown designer bag. His heart skipped a beat. He reached back, grabbed the bag, and opened it slightly. And what he saw made his blood run cold. Stacks of US dollars. Hundreds of thousands. Maybe even millions. Adi's hands began to tremble. Not again. His mind screamed. "This is your second chance, Adi. Don't be a fool. This is God answering your prayers." He looked around. The rich man was nowhere in sight. He had already entered the airport. Adi could just drive away. Nobody would know. Nobody would see. No security cameras. No witnesses. This was more than a test. This was temptation. And for the first time in his life, Adi hesitated. "Just this once. Just take it. You deserve it. Think about Tolu. She left you because you're poor. Think about Amara. She deserves a better life." Adi gripped the steering wheel. His whole body was shaking. Then, suddenly, his mother's voice echoed in his head. "Adi, your name means righteousness. No matter how poor you are, never sell your soul for money." His mother, a poor market woman who had raised him with nothing but love and integrity. Adi squeezed his eyes shut. Then he let out a slow, deep breath, and he grabbed his phone. Adi ran through the airport, dodging travelers, his breath heavy. He finally spotted the rich man, already at the check-in counter. "Sir! Sir!" Adi shouted. The man turned, surprised. Adi held up the bag. "You forgot this in my car." For a few seconds, the man just stared. Slowly, he took the bag, opened it, and when he saw the money inside, his face changed. You actually brought it back." His voice was low, almost in disbelief. AD wiped sweat from his forehead. "Yes, sir." The man let out a long breath and shook his head. "You're either the most honest man in Lagos or the most foolish." AD chuckled weakly. "Maybe both, sir." The man studied him for a long moment. Then he nodded. "How much did the last rich man you helped give you?" AD swallowed. 10,000 naira, sir." The man sighed. That was an insult. Right there at the airport, he pulled out his phone and made a call. "Draw up a contract," he said to someone on the line. "I want AD to be my personal driver and the head of my transport company." AD's heart nearly stopped. The man turned to him. "AD, from today you work for me. Your salary is 10 million naira per month." AD almost collapsed, but the man wasn't done. "You need a house. My lawyer will get you one in Lekki. And you need a new car. I'll handle that too." AD covered his mouth, his body trembling. "Sir, I don't know what to say." The man smiled. "Don't say anything. Your honesty has already spoken for you." And at that moment, AD realized fate had finally rewarded him. The news spread like wildfire. His friends, they came running. Kola was the first to call. "Ade, a beg no vex. We know no say na so we go be. A beg make we see." Laddie followed. "Chairman, na you be boss now. My guy, a beg, help your paddy." AD only laughed. "But I thought I was a fool." They lowered their heads in shame. Then one night his phone rang again. "Tolu," she was crying. "Ade, please. I made a mistake. Let's come back together for Amara's sake." AD sighed. "You left me when I had nothing, Tolu. You called me a fool. Now that I have money, you want to return." Tolu sobbed. "I was wrong. Please, I still love you." But AD had moved on. He had found someone who stood by him when he had nothing. And a few months later, he married her. On his wedding day, Tolu stood outside in the rain, watching, weeping, regretting. Ade, dressed in his expensive tuxedo, looked at his new wife and smiled. Then he whispered, "Honesty truly pays." AD sat in his new office, staring out of the large glass window overlooking the busy streets of Victoria Island. The air conditioning hummed softly, a luxury he was still getting used to. His desk was made of polished mahogany, his chair a plush leather executive seat, nothing like the hard wooden bench in his one-room apartment back in Mushin. Life had changed. One moment he was just another struggling Uber driver, mocked by friends, abandoned by his wife, insulted by life itself. Now, he was the head of a multi-million naira transport company. His monthly salary, 10 million naira. His new house? A fully furnished duplex in Lekki. His car? A brand new Mercedes-Benz. And all of this because he did one simple thing: he returned what didn't belong to him. Fate had finally smiled at him, but karma had its own way of handling those who laughed at him. One afternoon, as AD was going through some files in his office, his secretary walked in. "Sir, there are some men outside. They say they know you and want to see you urgently." AD frowned. "Who are they?" They said their names are Kola and Ladi. AD's eyes darkened. His old friends. The ones who mocked him when he was down. The ones who laughed at his pain. The ones who said he would die poor. "Should I send them away, sir?" the secretary asked. AD smirked. "No, let them in." A few minutes later, the door opened and Kola and Laddie stepped in. But they didn't walk in like the proud, boastful men they once were. They walked in humbly, almost nervously, their eyes darting around the luxurious office. AD leaned back in his chair, watching them. "AD, my chairman." Kola burst out, forcing a laugh. "Omo, see office. You don't blow o." Laddie nodded quickly. "My guy, we day happy for you." We no say you go make 'em one day. I raised an eyebrow. Oh, but I remember you saying I would never be rich because I was too honest. The room fell silent. Caller coughed awkwardly. Adi, I beg, no hold that one for mind. Na joke we day joke. Ade tilted his head. A joke? You called me a fool in front of the whole neighborhood. You said I would suffer for the rest of my life. That was a joke. Laddie sighed. Adi, we don't realize say we wrong. I beg, forgive us. Na condition make crayfish bend. Then, Kohler shifted on his feet and dropped the real reason they were here. Chairman, to tell you the truth, things hard for us. Work no day. We just say make we come greet you. Maybe you fit help us with small something. Adi let out a dry chuckle. So this was it. The same men who mocked him, who made fun of him when he was struggling, were now standing before him, begging for help. Karma was speaking. Adi sighed and leaned forward. How much do you need? Their eyes lit up. Anything you fit give us, boss. Adi picked up his phone, dialed his accountant, and said, Send 10,000 naira each to 2 men that just entered my office. Kohler and Laddie froze. Their smiles vanished. Adi, na joke, Laddie stammered. Adi leaned back, his face expressionless. That's what I got for returning 100 million naira, and I survived on it. So I believe 10,000 is more than enough for you. Their mouths hung open. Then, without another word, he pressed a button on his desk, signaling the security. Escort these men out of my office. 2 security guards entered and gently led Kohler and Laddie away. Ade watched as they left, their heads hanging low. The same way he once walked through the streets of Mushin, ashamed and broken. Karma had spoken. That same evening, as Adi relaxed in his new home, his phone rang. A number he hadn't seen in months. He stared at it for a long moment. Then, slowly, he picked up. Hello, Adi. It's me, Dr. Lu. Her voice was weak, different. For a few seconds, Adi said nothing. Then he sighed. Tulu, what do you want? There was silence on the other end. Then a choked sob. Adi, please, I made a mistake. Adi closed his eyes. He knew this day would come. I was wrong, she continued, her voice trembling. I shouldn't have left. I was just so tired of suffering. I was frustrated. But I see now that I was foolish. Adi said nothing. I heard what happened, she whispered. I heard how you returned the money, and how God blessed you. I'm so proud of you, Adi. Please, let's start over. Ade's chest tightened. Once upon a time, he would have done anything to hear those words. Once upon a time, he would have given anything to have Tulu back, but not anymore. He had changed. He had grown. And there was someone else now. A woman who stayed with him when he had nothing. A woman who believed in him when nobody else did. Adi exhaled. Tulu, when you left me, you said something. She sniffled. What did I say? You said I would never be rich. She let out a shaky breath. I was angry, Adi. I didn't mean it. Adi nodded slowly. Maybe. But the truth is, you didn't believe in me. You left when things were hard. Adi, please, her voice cracked. I want my family back. I want us to raise Amara together. Adi's heart ached at the mention of his daughter, but he had made his decision. I will always be Amara's father, he said gently. I will provide for her. Send her to the best schools. Make sure she never lacks anything. Tulu's breath hitched. But you and I? Adi whispered. That chapter is closed. A loud sob broke from the phone. Adi, please, please don't do this. But Adi only ended the call, and for the first time in years he felt at peace. 3 months later, Adi got married. Not to Tulu, but to Ifioma. The woman who had supported him in his lowest moments. The woman who had encouraged him when the world mocked him. The wedding was grand. Guests arrived in exotic cars. The hall was decorated in the most expensive designs. Champagne flowed freely. And outside, Tolu stood in the rain, weeping. She had come, hoping for a last-minute miracle. But miracles only happen for those who don't betray the ones they love. As Adi and Ifeoma exchanged vows, Tolu watched from a distance, her vision blurry with tears. She had lost him forever. Adi stood at the altar, looking into Ifeoma's eyes. Then he whispered, with a smile only God could have written, "Honesty truly pays." If you enjoyed this story and learned something valuable, make sure to like this video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more educational African folk tales and spiritual wisdom. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any powerful stories that will open your eyes and inspire you. More lessons and thrilling folk tales are coming your way, stay tuned.